Hey YouTube, how you doing? Today I'm bringing you a product review on the Turtle Beach Elite Pro 2s. This headset is a follow-up to the original Turtle Beach Elite Pros that were designed to be Turtle Beach's premium wired headset, kind of geared towards competing against like the Astro A40s. I'm going to start by talking about the materials as well as the build quality, and then we're going to go over the specs, and then I'll actually put them on, and then we can kind of discuss the headset quality, the sound quality, and the mic quality. So starting kind of from the top down, you see here on the top is a metal band with Turtle Beach kind of laser engraved into it there. It looks really good, and it's also meant to be a little bit more durable than their outgoing model. Their outgoing model had kind of a thick piece of plastic going all along here. It ended up being kind of a major breaking point. People would open these up too wide and kind of crack the top or drop them, and it would crack and break. This metal band works out a lot better. It not only adds a lot more elasticity for kind of adjusting head sizes and things like that, but it also adds a lot more durability to the top of the headset. Then kind of moving down this way, you've got this hard plastic right here. This is a plastic material, it's not metal, but it does feel very durable. It's a very thick, chunky piece of plastic here. Right here, the kind of connecting point for the rotation of the ear cups. These pieces in here are a little bit of a cheaper plastic. I wish they would have used either a little bit more of a higher end plastic here, or even like some type of metallic washer or something like that. This is my main headset that I use on a daily basis. I've dropped it several times, and fortunately the headset has held up really well, but you can see on the inside here, I actually have cracked that piece right there. Fortunately, it doesn't affect the function of the headset at all, but you can see it has cracked there. Coming down here, you have another piece of thick, durable plastic, and this actually adjusts for whatever head size that you may have. It has two fixed positions here that you can choose from. I usually just leave it on this highest setting, but if you need to, there are adjustment points there. And then up here you have a padded section on these suspension wires. And what that does is the padding is to kind of aid in comfort, so your head's not sitting up against that metal band there. But these suspension wires are really cool because they move when you put your headset on. And so this adjusts to whatever shape your head is to keep everything just kind of really tight and snug on your head, as well as add a little bit more comfort there as well. On the back of the ear cups here, you have a glossy plastic piece that fortunately, despite being glossy, does not pick up fingerprints very well. And this is removable. And Turtle Beach sells team-sponsored speaker plates. Different games have different speaker plates, or you can actually go to their website and have a speaker plate custom designed for you. They'll ship them out, and then these are just magnetically put on. So these just kind of snap back on when you're ready to swap those out. The ear cups here are really good. Their outgoing model had just a leatherette all the way around, and this kind of has the leatherette on the outside to add for durability, but on the inside, the part that's actually going to be resting against your head is kind of a cloth mesh material. And so that's really comfortable in there. And then on the inside of the ear cups is their proprietary cooling gel. And that kind of serves two purposes. The first is it's going to be almost like a memory foam pillow, kind of adjusts to the shape of your head. This adjusts, you can see how pliable that is, how soft that is. This adjusts when you put it on your head so that everything just forms perfectly around your ears. And then the cooling gel in there actually works. It's not just a gimmick. When I first got the headset and it, kind of touted that cooling gel in there, I was curious if it was actually a cooling gel. It is. If you put this headset on at the beginning of a gaming session, you're gonna feel this portion of the headset is really cool when it contacts your skin. And it's gonna warm up over the course of your gameplay. So if you're wearing these for extended periods of time, say like 30 minutes or more, you're gonna kind of lose that cooling effect. But you're gonna notice it again if you put this down and you go grab something to eat or drink, or you go to the bathroom and you come back 5 minutes later and you put your headset on, you're gonna feel how cool it is against your skin again. So that's really good. It adds a little bit of a comfort aspect to wearing your headset. The next thing you're going to see here is this almost rubber material here, and that's just going to aid in comfort. You can see how it moves there. Again, when this rests up against your head, you can see how that moves around. So that's just going to help everything stay in the perfect position when you have your headset on. These ear cups are removable. They're held on with magnets, just like the speaker plates here. So you just snap these off. It's going to do a couple things. One, if you drop your headset, this is not going to be a point where your headset breaks. These will pop off. Another good thing about these ear cups coming off is if these ever get damaged or worn, which I've worn these for probably about 8 or 9 months now, and they still look practically brand new. So the durability on these is really good. But if you were to break these or tear the leather or anything, you can order a separate set from Turtle Beach. And in that way, when you get them in the mail, these can just go right back on, and you're not going to have to worry about, buying a whole new headset because your ear cups are ruined. The other reason these are removable, and this is probably one of the coolest features of this headset, is you see this little tie down right here. Removing these gives you access to this tie down. And this is actually for people who wear glasses. And this is a little difficult to remove. There we go, I got it. So you just kind of remove this, and now you have this tab here. And what this tab does, I want you to pay attention to the front of the ear cup here. When you pull this tab, you get kind of a divot on the front of the ear cup. And what that's for, if you put this at its highest setting, it's got about 4 or 5 different settings there, but if you put it on its highest setting, it's a little difficult to put on and off, sorry. All right, there we go, it's back on. Now you can see kind of that divot there. And this headset was designed to be worn comfortably with glasses. You can see here there's no divot, and here you can kind of see this indented section. And that's going to add increased comfort for people who wear glasses. So that's kind of a cool feature of the headset. And then you can see the 50mm drivers in there. The neodymium, I believe is how you pronounce it. I can never pronounce that word right. But those magnets in there that produce the sound, you can see those large drivers in there. And they're actually finished pretty well. You can see in there it's kind of nice to look at, which doesn't, functionally that doesn't do anything, but on a lot of like higher end, not just gaming headsets, but higher end headsets in general, $600+ headsets. That's something that a lot of companies pay attention to, is how those speaker plates look and how those drivers look. So that just kind of adds to the attention to detail that Turtle Beach put into these headsets. On the bottom section of the left ear cup here, you see 2 little holes. Those are going to be for, one is for the actual wired portion that's going to run to your mix amp or directly into your controller or PC, whatever you're gaming on. And then the other is for the microphone. That's just going to snap into here. One of the main reasons I got this headset was for the mic quality. The mic quality on this headset that you'll actually hear in just a moment is really, really good. So the wire for the mic actually is inside this little plastic piece right here, this flexible plastic portion. And what that allows you to do is really conform this to however you need it, twist it around really good without destroying or tearing or crimping that wire in there. So it's really durable. And then here you have their tournament mic. This is a really good microphone, and you can see, I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up, but there's a kind of a mesh portion in here that acts and serves as a pop filter. It's a little on the small side. It doesn't really show on camera, but when I press into it, it's a very thin pop filter. I wish they would have added either a bigger pop filter that goes all the way around the mic, or at least made this a little bit thicker. I feel that's probably one of the few areas where they could have improved on this headset, but it does have a little bit of a pop filter there, which will help you out as far as mic quality goes. So now I'm going to finish assembling this headset real quick, and we'll talk about the specs, and we'll talk about the audio quality, and let you guys hear the mic quality as well. All right, so now we'll talk about, kind of what the headset sounds like, what the mic quality is like, and we'll talk about the specifications of the headset a little bit. From now through the rest of this review, everything is going to be done on the Elite Pro 2 tournament mic. So everything that you hear from here on out is going to be directly from the mic on the headset so that you can get an idea of the mic quality. So now we'll talk about the specifications of the headset. We've already kind of discussed that the headset comes with 50 millimeter neodymium magnetic drivers, which is really good for a gaming headset. Kind of the industry standard nowadays is usually between 40 and 50 millimeters. So these are pretty big drivers that are going to be kind of providing that sound stage. And the frequency response on this headset is 12 hertz to 20 kilohertz, which is again pretty solid for kind of comparing between different headsets. Just to give you an idea, Astro A40s, their new TR versions, they have a frequency response of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So this is basically the same as a little bit of a lower frequency response, which is good. That just kind of provides a little bit of a broader range of sound that the headset can provide, although that's kind of starting to dip below where the human ear is even kind of capable of picking up those kinds of sounds. But it's still good to have that kind of broad frequency response. You can buy this headset with the Turtle Beach mix amp, which is very good. I used it for a while before switching to my Astro mix amp. I just did that because there's a little bit more of, just because of the way you use the Turtle Beach mix amp software was a little convoluted for me. I prefer to have kind of a larger piece on my desk where I can turn everything in a certain way. It was just easier to use, I guess. But the Turtle Beaches were very good. I actually gave it to a friend recently who was looking for a mix amp with a stream port to just kind of route everything through so he could stream. So he's using that at the moment. But at first, this headset was $250 and only came supplied with the mix amp. You can now buy this headset directly from Turtle Beach or other retailers for about $130 without the mix amp. So if you already have a mix amp, or if the mix amp is not something that you're going to be really wanting to use, you could pick these up reasonably cheap as far as, a mid to high end gaming headset goes. So in the box, you're going to get the headset, their tournament mic, and the chat cable that comes with it that also has an inline mute button right there on the cable. So the specifications for the headset are very good. It's very comfortable, and you can kind of see what it looks like on my head. It's a little large, but that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be. It's a substantial piece. It's got really thick, comfortable ear cups, and I think it looks pretty good on the head. I also like the fact that it comes in white. For those of you who have seen my setup tour, you know that I have kind of a white and black theme going on, so this fits in really well with all of that. And again, these speaker plates are replaceable if you decide to go with a different color or a team or something like that. As far as the sound quality, that's really hard to emulate for you guys because even if I had the equipment to do it, everybody's going to be watching this review on anything from, $8 earbuds to $800 studio headsets or surround sound systems. So it's really hard to kind of convey what a headset sounds like, so you're going to have to kind of take my word for it. I consider myself a little bit of an audiophile. I'm not over the top with my sound stuff, but when it comes to headsets and sound systems, I like to think I have a pretty good ear for what sounds good and what sounds like a quality headset or surround system. So just kind of some things I'd say about the headset, about the actual sound quality coming from the speakers. The first thing is it's very well rounded. One of the reasons I don't typically like Astro products, especially the A40s, is because everything just sounds so deep on the low end. Everything just has so much bass, from the grenades to the footsteps to the gunshots. It sounds good for gaming for directional purposes, but it sounds really muddied and just really overly bassy. And I know you can go into like their mix amp and you can adjust the highs and the lows and the mids, but their headsets never just seem to be
They're great for gaming. They just don't seem to me to be really great for, watching a movie or music. So if you're looking for specifically a gaming headset with those really deep bass sounds, really good for picking up footsteps, the Astro A40s are great. But for me, this was a more well-rounded headset, and that's why I ended up going with this one. This sounds really good, not just in video games and detecting footsteps and stuff like that, but it has just a really good broad range of sound for watching movies, listening to music, doing YouTube videos, watching YouTube, anything like that. The sound quality on these speakers is really good, and it gets very, very loud, which is another thing. Sometimes you'll buy a headset and it sounds really good. It just doesn't seem to get to the level of volume that you need it to. These get plenty loud. Usually when I'm gaming, even like in the middle of like a wager or GB match or something like that, I only have this headset turned up to about 80 or 90% because any higher than that would just be almost uncomfortably loud for me. So there's plenty of sound coming from the speakers, and the sound quality is really, really good. As far as the mic quality, as you can hear, it's very good as well. For a microphone that's just, kind of a detachable microphone that comes with the headset, I think this sounds very, very good. I bought this headset with gaming as well as streaming and making YouTube videos in mind. So the microphone quality was really, really important to me. And I think they did a really good job. We discussed kind of the thin pop filter that was in there. And I'm sure as you can hear me talking, maybe some of my S sounds or some of my P sounds, you can kind of hear how that pop filter doesn't do the best job, but it does good enough. Um, Hopefully on their next headset, they either have a little bit better of a filter on there, or even if they leave it just like this, designed just like this, but make it thicker, I think that would go a long way into making this mic borderline perfect for, as good as a microphone can be that's attached to a headset. I know most people use a separate boom mic, XLR mic, USB mic, what have you. But this sounds really, really good for what it is. It's probably the best microphone I've heard on a headset. I can tell you that this headset not only works with Xbox One, but it also works on the PS4 and it works on PC. So if you're looking to buy this headset, it works with just about everything. I believe it'll even work with a Switch. Don't quote me on that, but if I remember correctly, I've plugged this into my Switch before, and I know I've gotten audio through it. I believe I've gotten my mic to work through it as well. I think I got it working one day. Um, so yeah, just a really quality headset. I would recommend this headset to just about anybody who's looking for a premium headset in the $100 to $150 range. This has been the headset I use on a daily basis for about 8 or 9 months now, and it's held up really, really well. I've dropped it several times. I have kids who mess with my stuff sometimes, so it's held up against them. And the sound quality has been really, really good, and the microphone quality for streaming and gaming has been very good as well. And it's also very comfortable. I wear this for anywhere from 4 to 8 hours at a time, and it never gets heavy. The ear cups never start hurting the sides of my head or anything like that. My ears fit comfortably into the headset because this is an over-the-ear headset. My ears never touch against that inside of that mesh, which can cause kind of discomfort on other headsets if your ears touch against kind of that mesh in front of the speaker. And I don't have that problem with this headset. It's not perfect, but it is really good, especially for the price you're paying now. You can get it without the mix amp for $130. I think that's a really good price. And if the price comes down even more, or if you can find a good deal on it on Amazon or, during a Black Friday sale or anything like that, I think it's going to be a really good buy. So I hope you guys have found this review useful. As always, if you want to ask any questions about my review or you just want to come hang out, I stream most nights around 9 p.m. Eastern over at twitch.tv/murfrags. You can also drop any questions or comments you have down in the comment section below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you found this review useful. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and YouTube will catch you later.